what's up, everybody? It's Scotty. We're back out here doing another quick ride, just to kind of, first thoughts of the motorcycle. Today we're riding this GSX-R1000 R 1000R behind me, and we're just going to kind of chat about what I think about it. Again, I'm not going to go over all these kind of crazy specs or anything, but I'm going to tell you how it feels to me out on the streets. But before we get in the saddle, let's take some nice looks at this beautiful machine, and then we'll get on the road. We're down here in stop and go traffic in Louisville, Kentucky. Can you imagine a better place to be on a sport bike than this right now? just in the most uncomfortable position you can imagine in stop and go. On a bike that wants to only go, 200 miles an hour. Letting that guy over. We'll get through this together. But yeah, we're out on the GSX-R1000. I've ridden some leader bikes. I've never actually gotten a chance to ride a Suzuki. So yes, it is a little cold today. It's 51 degrees, so could be worse. It was 43 when I thought I was going to ride this motorcycle. It's since gotten a little warmer, so not too bad. But yeah, we're out here. It's nice. It's warming up. Not too bad. People are out. They're drinking bourbon, I'm sure, at noon on a Tuesday. It's Louisville, Kentucky, so that's what we do around here. But no, I'm loving this bike so far. I just zipped across the bridge, and I got to goose the throttle a few times just to kind of feel her out and get around a few people. And yeah, I mean, it's a leader bike. It's super fast, So, gotta love them. They're super fun. But other than that, I've always been kind of curious about the Suzukis. Obviously, they've won some GP titles here recently, so I know it's a good bike. I know that the bike that they race in the GPs isn't necessarily a GSX-R1000, but some of that stuff trickles down to these bikes. It feels really good. It's just super uncomfortable. Like your neck is in this 45-degree angle for the duration of the ride, and I do not like it. I think if I were going to get a leader bike, it would probably be more like well, I'll just show you, like this bike here. This is what I'm calling in the dealership videos the marketing dude choice. It's a 2022 CB1000, a Honda CB1000. It's me being more of a cafe racer guy. This has got more of that neo, well, Honda calls it the neo retro motorcycles, but really I guess what that means is they're future retro futurism. I like to say this bike looks like you're cruising around Tokyo in the year 2032. Little Blade Runner-esque, Blade Runner with petrol engines. But I really like that bike. I think that would be more my choice, just because you're sitting upright like I feel like you should on a motorcycle, man. Unless you are racing, I just do not see the benefit to riding a bike this aggressive. It's just, I guess if you're going to be carving canyons and stuff, sure, but you can still carve canyons on standard motorcycles, especially stuff like the CB1000 or, even the GSX-1000S. Anything that's going to have a more handlebar here, not so much way down here. That's just going to be my choice, but whatever. We're sitting in stop and go here. There's David, big golden naked David. And now we're giving you a little downtown tour. We've got the Kentucky Science Center right over there. Lots of cool stuff in there for the kiddos. If you can see it, again, my neck's at an awful angle. We're coming up on it here. Louisville Slugger Factory and Museum. Right there it is. There's the bat, people. If you come to Louisville, you can take your picture with that thing or do whatever the heck you want to do. We've also got the Fraser History Museum right here. That's got some awesome artwork in it and got a lot of cool exhibits. Lots of cool stuff in downtown Louisville. It's not all bourbon, but bourbon's not bad. That's also pretty good. I'm going to get this thing inspected, and we'll chat it up a little bit. I'll be able to open up the throttle a little bit here after we get out of downtown. So let me get this thing inspected for its new lucky owner, and we'll keep chatting. All right, we're off. Man, this thing does sound good. Man, it really sounds good. You know, I know I probably don't seem too excited to be riding this thing. And you know, I pride myself on being honest with these videos. I know, like, I don't like do tons of research, and I said this in the last video when I rode the KTM 890 Adventure, but I'm not so much like into researching about the specs of the motorcycles, or you know, I really more just want to tell you how they ride, because that's really what I look like. I'm always looking for that when I'm looking at, you know, anything I'm buying. I want to know, like, how it feels, and you know, real world application kind of situation. And I kind of am trying to give you that with this, and I can't say with any certainty at all that this is a comfortable or practical motorcycle to ride. I wouldn't tell you to commute on it. You know, nothing like that. It's just, it's not. If you want something that is an absolute rocket ship, that handles amazing, this is it. I mean, this bike feels so good. You know, I wish that we had some twisties that I could take it through, because I'm sure it would be amazing. Obviously, the braking power, also incredible. But it's not a, you know, practical commuter motorcycle. It's not a comfortable cruise motorcycle. And I guess maybe that's where I'm at, is I'm more in the aspect of cruising. You know, I like to, you know, me and my wife and I rather like to go out and ride the bikes every once in a while. So, you know, I want something that is going to be comfortable for the two of us to be on together. So that's really why I always lean more towards, you know, the cafe racers, the more standard motorcycles, just because it's more comfortable for us to sit on. You know, we've kicked around getting a bagger, but man, they're just so much money, and I've got too many hobbies. So we haven't pulled the trigger on a bagger yet, but it would be nice to go on some longer rides with some of our friends. But I would never buy, you know, one of these unless I was going to track ride, which I've kicked around getting an older bike to maybe do some track days on, but then that's so expensive, and I'm already mountain biking, and I'm already dirt bike riding and racing vintage motocross, and it's just too much. I've got too much going on, man. I can't do it all. So right now, this stage of my life, a GSX-1000R or a GSX-R1000, not in the cards. Not in the cards for me. Although it is a hell of a lot of fun to ride one every once in a while. Here we go. We're going to finally open it up. It's funny. I'm so used to motors that don't rev this high. I'm like short shifting this damn thing. I need to let her breathe. But I'm just not used to it. You know, I used to ride my first road bike was a 1974 Honda CB 750K, and you had to kind of screen that bike out. You know, that was like the OG inline 4-cylinder, man, and it was a great motorcycle. I loved it. I still have it. I ride it around the block maybe once a year. You know, it doesn't get the love it really deserves, but I have been instructed never to sell that thing. So my wife, it was one of our first dates, was on that motorcycle, and it's going to stay. It and all four of its carburetors that constantly need work. But you know, I like to keep it around. But it's funny because that bike is kind of like the grandfather to a lot of these leader bikes like this. A lot of these inline 4 engines, you know, they all date back to those old Hondas and those old Cowie Zs and the Suzukis, to their credit, from that era. But I will tell you, the CB750 is a lot more comfortable. A lot more comfortable to ride than this thing. But this motor, I mean, it is just amazing. So, I can't say enough good stuff about this thing. I mean, well, I don't know if that's true. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of been talking trash on it. I don't mean that. I don't mean to talk trash. It is a great motorcycle. It is super fast. It corners amazing. It does everything right that it's supposed to do right. But there's a big hairy butt coming. It's just so damn uncomfortable. My neck hurts so bad. You know, and me having, you know, broke some vertebrae and tweaked my neck, I don't know, who knows how many times racing motocross over the years, probably doesn't help that situation. So maybe that's something you should be looking at. If you're like me, you're an old motocrosser who's destroyed his body for I don't even know what reason anymore, then, you know, maybe you, maybe a sport bike's not for you. It's not for me. So, maybe look elsewhere. That's a good point. That's a good point. If you're a young dude, if you're a dude that's healthy, that's never destroyed his body for no apparent reason at all other than wanting to, do sick jumps and look cool in front of your homies, then maybe you could ride a sport bike well into your 30s. It's just not something I'm into anymore. This has been a very enlightening ride for me. I always see these bikes and I always think, man, wouldn't that be cool to have that in my garage? And would it be cool? Yes. Is it practical? No. Is it something that I would, even think about doing now after riding this bike for 10 minutes? Probably not. So, anyway, with all that being said, this has been Scotty with Evil Castrigal. Appreciate everybody liking and subscribing, and we're continuing to grow slowly but surely. So, I appreciate it. I'll chat to you guys later.